Good morning. Will you please rise in body or in spirit and join me in singing a song not in your hymnal, but that may be familiar to you. We'll sing it through a few times. Here we go. Be still and know that day and night. Be still and know that dark and light. Holy circle. Be still and know that day and night. Be still and know that dark and light. Holy circle. Let's do two more times. Here we go. Be still and know that day and night. Be still and know that dark and light are one holy circle. Be still and know that day and night. Be still and know that dark and light are one holy circle. Thank you. Please be seated.
In many earth-based traditions, a sacred container is created in which to hold ceremony or ritual. One of the components of creating sacred space is the calling in of the directions, each of which represents an element and a life stage, as well as qualities, life lessons, and archetypes. By calling the four cardinal directions to join us in holding space, we build a balanced as well as protected foundation in which to share our time. Please join us in inviting these energies by rising in body or in spirit, and as you are able, face each of the four directions as we call them. We'll start with the east, which is facing the wall with the sanctuary tree. Spirits, guardians, and ancestors of the East and the element of air, cracked open seeds of inspiration which remain tucked under the earth, awaiting their appearance, sprouts that hold the potential of our next longings, gentle breezes and gusty winds which bring newness and change into our lives, winged ones who teach us about vision and of the big picture. Please join us, teach us, and celebrate with us this solstice tide.
I invite you to face south, which is the back wall here. Spirits, guardians, and ancestors of the south and the element of fire. The spark that guides our bodies to enact the will of our minds and hearts. The burning in our bellies that brings our passions forward to manifest into action. Embers and flames which burn away that which no longer serves us, and light which illuminates and brings consciousness into our lives. Please join us, guide us, and frolic with us this solstice tide.
Please turn to face west, the windows. Spirits, guardians, and ancestors of the West and the element of water, the creatures that teach us about diving deep only to emerge again, the sunsets and twilights that teach us to savor each last bit and remind us that all things come to an end. Still waters, ripples, droplets, running rivers, downpours, lapping or crashing waves, and tsunamis that continually teach us that we are not always in control of the flow. The emotions which are the currents of our lifeblood, please be with us, surround us, and play with us this solstice tide.
Now may you please face the front, I guess. Spirits, guardians, and ancestors of the north and the element of earth, the fertile soil mixed with the gone before ones, which gives the rise of new life, rise to all new life, mixing the past and future. The rocks which hold us steady, the solid foundation that gives us the stability we need to learn to fly, and the deep, quiet solace of knowing solitude. Please join us, hold us, and remind us of this solstice tide.
Spirits, guardians, and ancestors of each of our centers, please be with us and help us bring our deepest, most authentic selves into this solstice tide and into our lives. Blessed be. You may be seated.
Nice job. Sorry, I forgot what we were doing. Good morning. And welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Ann Arbor, where we have been gathering together in community continuously since 1865. My name is rohlck. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I serve this congregation as a member of the lay worship team. I have a few announcements to share this morning. For any newcomers who are joining us in person today, welcome. After the service today, we have an official newcomer welcome. That will take place in the Redmond Room, which, as you exit the double doors here, is the second door on your left. There is a sign. There are friendly faces. And for any newcomers who are online, also welcome. We invite you to fill out a newcomer survey so that we can stay connected with you. That's at UUAA.org/newcomer survey. I also have a pop quiz for you all. On Christmas Eve, are our services at the same time as usual or a different time? Oh, you're all so smart. The Christmas Eve services are an hour than they usually have been. So at 3:30, we have a family-friendly, no rehearsal Christmas pageant, and everyone is welcome. We hope you'll join us. At 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock, we have our more traditional lessons and carol services, and so we hope to see you there as well. This next Sunday, December 28th, there is no service here and the building is closed. So if you come to the building, you can gently rest your forehead on the front door, which will be locked if that feels like an important ritual for you. For those who would like a different ritual option, you are invited to join the online service at the Church of the Larger Fellowship and join us in larger community there. Friends, today we gather to mark the winter solstice, and as a UU witch, I am so pleased to gather with you all. The word solstice comes from the Latin meaning sun, stand still. So today we are invited to pause and to notice. The winter solstice is the time when the daylight hours are shortest and the darkness is longest. Many cultures and religions have holidays around this time, many drawing on the image of light in the darkness. Christians light the Advent candles, Jews light candles on the Hanukkah menorah. In Roman times, the celebration of Saturnalia was held around the winter solstice, honoring Saturn, the god of the harvest. The day after the solstice was known as the Day of the Sun. There's so much imagery of light in the dark of winter. In the words of farmer and poet Wendell Berry, to go into the dark with a light is to know the light. When we rush to the light, to the return of the sun, we miss the invitation and the possibility of darkness. In Western culture, we love the good-bad binary. It feels so tidy to say that light is good and darkness is bad. But where humans love the good-bad binary, nature loves paradox. Multiple simultaneous truths that seem like they would contradict each other. The solstice itself is a moment of paradox. It's both the darkest day of the year, and it's also the point at which the hours of light start to grow longer again. It's both a fixed point and a turning point. It marks the beginning of the light half of the year, but also the half of the year with the coldest weather. The winter solstice also marks the time of wassailing, the tradition of singing to the orchards and to the spirit of the apple trees. To the tradition of making wassail, which is a warm, spiced cider, and sharing it with neighbors to usher in the cold time. Wassailing songs honor the abundance of the harvest and also bless the trees to bear fruit in the next season. And so wassailing, like the solstice, honors both this present moment and the potential of what will come. And on this day of paradox, we are gathered in community. We are gathered for worship.
I go through a lot of candles at home during this season, with the darkness falling early and the cold and the snow and the wind, all the things that remind us that we still live in Michigan and it is winter. Just seeing a candle or several in my home is comforting and calming, and it just feels warmer, even though I know my furnace is what actually brings the warm air into the space. If I had a fireplace, I'd probably have a fire going all month as well. There's just something about a flickering flame that evokes comfort, warmth. It makes me feel like I am wrapped up in a big down comforter. When we come together in this sacred space, our flaming chalice evokes those same feelings for me: comfort, warmth, safety, love, and belonging. As we embark on our winter solstice journey today, I would like to invite someone to come forward and light the chalice. Now, usually, I always ask this in advance, and I didn't. I will admit that to you. Spencer, would you be willing to do that for me? Thank you. I think you know the routine. So I invite those of you who are watching at home to light a chalice or a candle on your own, and if you wish, add in the chat where your location is. And if you all would please join me together as we say, "We light this chalice for the light of truth. We light this chalice for the warmth of love. We light this chalice for the energy of action. We light this chalice for the harmony of peace." Thank you, Spencer. Unitarian Universalism is a covenantal faith. It is foundational to who we are. Without a single creed or profession of belief to bind us together, we hold instead being in right relationship with each other as a guiding principle in all our interactions. On a Sunday when we are very present to the natural world around us, let us also remember that we covenant to be in right relationship with the earth. Now, whether you are new to us or just visiting, or you have said this countless times, please join me as we say with intention the words of this congregation's covenant. The spirit of this church is love, and service is its law. This is our covenant with each other, to dwell together in peace, to search for truth in love, and to help one another.
In the Gaelic tradition, which is my ancestry, there are stories about a goddess known as the Cailleach, the veiled one, the hag of winter. I have a soft spot for her because one of my favorite words is hag. You can say it with me if you want. Hag. That's right. That was a blessing. Thank you. Thank you. The Cailleach is said to walk across the earth, spreading her cloak of winter over the ground. Winter lasts as long as she has enough firewood to keep herself warm in her cave. The Cailleach comes on her own schedule. She leaves when she is ready to leave. These stories remind us that there are important ways we will never control nature. And in this case, that darkness is inevitable. And so what if, instead of fighting it, instead of worrying about when the light will return, we first learned the lessons that darkness offers us? What if we offered darkness our own gifts in return? Often, the beginning of a ritual is marked by lighting a candle, and it ends when the candle is blown out, like with our chalice. Today, we're going to do something a little different. When the candles are blown out, our ritual will continue and deepen. We know that dark and light are one holy circle, and in this ritual, we honor the dark. I'd like to invite our volunteers with their candles, whom Reverend Theresa invited earlier, to please rise and to come down as you're comfortably able to surround this labyrinth right here. And you're invited to spread out a bit. You can like each other, but give each other some space. Wonderful. And Reverend Theresa, yeah. Wonderful. And when our candle bearers are ready, Reverend Theresa and Barbara, thank you, will help you light your candles. These candles represent the light of outward growth, the outward spiral. The light has witnessed us through the year, growing in all the ways we've grown, blossoming in all the ways we've blossomed. We've grown and blossomed and come into our fullness through joy, through sharing with others, through calling out injustice. As we begin our ritual by honoring the light of these candles, I invite you to turn your attention inward to your own light. I invite you to sit and wonder, how have you grown and bloomed this year? What are you proud of? What are you grateful for? Let's take a minute. And when you're ready, I invite our candle bearers on this side to please blow out their candles. Thank you. At the end of the summer comes the harvest, the gathering time. The waning light has witnessed us through the year, learning in all the ways that we've learned, from ease and abundance, and from failure, and from trying again in a different way. What have you foraged and gathered this year? How have you failed? How have you been creative? Let's take a moment together. And when you're ready, I invite our candle bearers on this side to please blow out their candles. Thank you. The darkness has witnessed us through the year, coming to us in dreams and in rest, in messiness and intuition, in sensuality and in desire. The gifts of darkness are in discernment. Discernment transforms our knowledge into wisdom. Discernment transforms our hope into action. Discernment transforms our love into justice. To honor the darkness is to walk the inward spiral of discernment, to prune away what no longer serves us, and to make way for new growth. So friends, what no longer serves you? And what are you clearing space for instead? Let's take a moment. What is this moment for you now, this fixed point? And what else is possible in this moment, this turning point? How does it feel to embrace paradox? We do not rush back to the light. We honor the lessons of darkness and give it its proper place. As the sun stands still, we pause to give thanks for the solstice. Spring is only possible because of winter. We wake up after we dream. And so it is. Please be seated. Thank you.
There are infinite shades of black, a deep, rich, and powerful spectrum. The darkness is complex, full of layers, mysteries, and magic, changing from moment to moment. Our human tendency to fear the hidden corners of the dark has led to centuries of people trying desperately to overcome it, with candles and fire and electricity and all manner of technological innovations. The biggest change began in the late 19th century with Thomas Edison's invention of the incandescent light bulb. And so began the electrification revolution that brought consistent light sources into homes and buildings, thus transforming our very way of life. Have we forgotten how the world looked before we began to rely on the widespread use of electricity to light our way through the dark? There are times when only the darkest dark makes it possible to see the secret sources of light that the natural world offers. The northern lights, the glow of the moon, the blanket of stars in the sky, the creatures of the night. I love those time-lapse videos of starscapes that actually allow us to see evidence of our Earth spinning on its axis, a phenomenon of the universe that is otherwise undetectable to us. The darkest dark reveals the magic of nature as only the darkest dark can. This morning's story for all ages brings back a wonderful character we first met back in May at our flower communion service. An unconventional girl in a conventional town who must rescue the dark and all its delights. Millie Fleur Saves the Night by Christy Mandan. Garden Glen was afraid of the dark. Every evening, when the sun dipped below the horizon, the townspeople raced home and switched on their lights. Spotlights shone on the prize-winning gardens. Lanterns lit the pathways. Every house and yard in Garden Glen was as bright as the midday sun. Every house except Millie Fleur Lafay's, of course. At the bottom of a scruffy hill at the edge of town, a lone street lamp glowed outside Millie Fleur's garden gate. To the people of Garden Glen, Millie Fleur's house was terribly dark and mysterious. But to Millie Fleur, it wasn't dark enough. Since she moved to town, Millie Fleur hadn't seen a single night creature. Her moon garden struggled to grow. "I have an idea," her mom said. After they took care of the street lamp, Millie Fleur waited for the return of the dark and her other nighttime friends. But Garden Glen's Lantern Committee was not happy about Millie Fleur's unlit house. "It's dangerous," warned the mayor. "It's scary," said the city planner. "Who knows what the dark will bring with it," said the lantern keeper. "But the dark isn't scary," Millie Fleur assured them. "You just need to get to know her." Millie Fleur couldn't bear the thought of her friend feeling unwelcome. She got to work on a new plan. Moon pies in hand, Millie Fleur marched right up to the edge of the deep, dark woods. "You are always welcome in my garden," she whispered gently to the dark. With Millie Fleur and the dark leading the way, the creatures of the night set off for Millie Fleur's garden. garden, a spider quietly spun her silk while bats fluttered and flapped on the breeze. The crickets and the katydids played their gentle chorus while the dark told tales of the night. Millefleur's moon garden sprang to life all around them. The sweet smell of Millefleur's moonflowers, snoozing sugar plums, the twilight tulips drifted across the glen, enchanting her neighbors. Lanterns in hand, they followed the scent to Millefleur's home. As the light from the lanterns came closer, the dark and all her friends hid away. "I'll take care of you," Millefleur promised. Millefleur's neighbors were eager to see the perfumed plants growing in her garden. "Behind my gates lies a world you've been missing, but you'll have to put out your lanterns to see it," Millefleur told them. "You'll have to be brave." They were nervous to leave their lanterns behind. Their imaginations ran wild. What might happen if they met the dark? But the delightful smell coming from the moon garden was irresistible. Gathering all their courage, they put out their lanterns and waited. "It's okay to come out now," Millefleur whispered. Under the safety of the dark, mushrooms lit the path to Millefleur's moon garden. Glowworms hung in luminous strands from the trees. Fireflies blinked happily. Millefleur's garden sparkled. The kids were a bit shy around the dark at first, but the more they got to know her, the more they realized there were things the dark could share that couldn't be found in the light. One by one, the lights around Garden Glen began to go out. Moon gardens sprang up all over town. The creatures of the night made themselves at home. And from that day on, Garden Glen was a friend of the dark. Millefleur had saved the night. The end.
Will you please rise in body or in spirit and join me in singing to a familiar tune of We Three Kings, the song Triple Solstice Goddess. The words are on the screen for you.
Maiden of the glory.
Each week we collect an offering. We do this so regularly that it may be you don't give it much thought. Maybe you just focus on the fact that during the offering is when you get to hear some wonderful music. And yes, that does happen. Sometimes music from the choir or from the bells, or as you will hear today, music from our pianist, Allison Halerz. So one of the core values of Unitarian Universalism, generosity, might not be at the front of your mind at this moment. So what does it mean to be generous? For some, a financial gift is not always possible. Please know that that is okay. Your presence here is your gift to us. But there are many ways to be generous. For others of you, a financial gift is possible without much difficulty at all. Wherever you fall on that spectrum of giving, please take a moment right now to think about what does it mean to you to be generous. You may show your generosity by giving online. You can text UUAA to 73256. You can go to uuaa.org/giving, or you may add cash or checks to the baskets. Today's offerings will go to support the programs and ministries of this congregation. So I invite the ushers to please come forward now, and I thank you all for your generosity as this morning's offering is now gratefully given and received. Thank you, Allison. As the ushers now come forward, I invite you to please rise in body or in spirit and join me in saying the words we use to dedicate our offerings. To the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action, we dedicate our lives and these our offerings. Thank you. You may be seated. Our reading today is from a small book called Winter Solstice, an essay by Nina McLaughlin. I will invite you into a time of silent reflection after the first reading. McLaughlin writes, "The Yule log didn't begin as a cocoa confection with meringue mushrooms on the top. It was oak, burned on the night of the solstice. Whole trunks were brought into the home, carried by people with clean hands, and burned night after night during this darkest stretch of the year. A section of the log was saved to light the next year's fire, the strands of light connecting one year to the next. Depending on where one lived, the ashes of the solstice fire were then spread on fields over the following days to up the yield of the next season's crops, or to feed cattle, to fatten them and boost fertility in the herd, or placed under beds to protect against thunder and lightning, or sometimes worn in a vial around the neck. The lights we string on bushes that glow on the trees in the center of town, something of these ancient fires lives in them too. The ancient cults cast shadows in our mind, shift and flicker, their fears still our fears, down in the darkest places of ourselves. We're on the edge, teetering toward the other side of something. But what? Winter? It's more than that. An unfamiliar wavelength of darkness and unknown has descended, not for the first time, and maybe not for the last, but here it is. In licoricey, unsleeping night, one passes through the daily indignities, frustrations, regrets, and wonders. Are we going to be okay? Or graver and more accurate, are we going to survive? In this way, right now, on this winter solstice, perhaps the glowing strands that connect us to who and what has come before glow brighter now than usual. In this dark season, we are more kindred with the long-gone farmers, lighting their fires, collecting their ash, trying to bring light and warmth back to the land, to keep the human scene around them, there on their mountainsides, their desert camps, their swamps, hills, prairies, plains, forest glades, wherever they were, under the glittering stars, shivering with cold and the chill of not knowing. Will we make it out of this alive? If you will pause for a moment now and imagine those whom you are connected to by the glowing strands of your own Yule log. How have those from the past shown us how to survive? If you would return from that time of reflection, just take a breath. And from the same author, a bit later in the essay, some words that I feel offer hope in response to the question, will we survive? It is the season of gifts. What can I give you? What can any of us give to each other? I know the feeling in my body when I am all the way here, when I am offering what light I have to you, the most precious thing I have, my attention, which is to say, my love. And I know the feeling in my body when it is returned, when that presence is offered back, when the spark of you is right here with me, even for a moment. It is not the words that speak the presence, but the glow behind the eyes, the pulse from the heart communicated between us across the table, beside you as we walk together on the sidewalk towards the square. I'm here, you're here. We will not always be. The body registers it because what hums in the background of that presence is absence. Around that blaze of light, big darkness roars. Winter tells us more than petal spring or hot grassed summer or fall with its yellow leaves, that we are mortal. In the frankness of its cold and the mystery of its deep blue dark, the place in us that knows of death is tickled, focused, stoked. The angels sing on the doorknobs, and others sing from the abyss. The sun has been in retreat since June, and the heat inside glows brighter in proportion to its absence. We make up for the lost light in the spark that burns inside us. Friends, on this solstice, hold in your hearts the knowledge that you each have the gift of attention, of presence, of love that you can freely give. Let the spark that burns within you light the way and show you where it is most needed. We will get through. We will survive together. Amen. Remembering to honor the darkness and its gifts is such a crucial way to honor the winter solstice. And yet, as humans, we are also pulled to celebrate the return of the light in the ever-turning wheel of the year. In this way, as with all seasons, we can live in the both and instead of either or. With every day after the solstice, which, by the way, started at 10:02 this morning, we are already getting longer. The days are just a wee bit longer. Yeah, an hour. The season is often symbolized by the birth of a child who, after being nurtured in complete darkness, bursts forth and brings a growing light to the world. And so it is that this is a season in which we center children. We're all over there right now. Now we will symbolically bring back the light into our space and our year through the labyrinth walk. I will invite you to come up on the far side along the wall, that aisle, okay? Coming around this way. You can save this inner aisle if you have some mobility concerns. This is quicker, just you may come this way. As you get to the front, you will please take a candle that is in an apple holder, which you will journey with as you walk through the pine bough labyrinth. As you walk through the path, reflect on the gifts that both darkness and light bring into your life, and place the candle along the path. Note that you will enter here from the front, and you will exit there, okay? When you exit, if you would, please go this way and down that aisle to go back to your seats, okay? As we collectively journey through the labyrinth, a visual reminder of how the light returns will grow before us. So now I invite young people, children, and families with little ones who would like to walk through the labyrinth together to come and help us start the ritual. So will you all come up first? And then others, please feel free to join in as you will. So let's begin. Let's keep the light of hope alive. Let's keep it burning, keeping us safe on our journey through the storm. Thank you for helping return the light. Together, let us merry make its return and our connection to each other. Just as we call in the directions at the start of our time together, we release them as we end our time together. Please join me in thanking the spirits, guardians, and ancestors who have helped hold us in this sacred space. To release the container, we will clap 3 times. You are welcome to clap with us.
And now will you please rise in body or in spirit and join me in singing from our hymnal, number 235, Deck the Hall. Oh, and if you have bells, you are so very invited to shake them with whimsy. Let's make the Yuletide gay.